So this is the Brno Transit Museum, and it goes by a few different names actually. This label here is mine. They're saying Technische Museum Brno, but actually that's the parent organization, you could say, who run a larger museum in Kraljevo Pole, which doesn't have any trams that I'm aware of in it. It has a lot of other things which are worth seeing. The status of this museum is a little bit unclear. I'll show you a website about that. But it does have its own bus stop here. Now you could say because it's a tram museum, it would have rail access. This is the rail access. But if we look more carefully, we see that the rail access is not in very good condition. It does actually exist. You can see it peeking out here, but it's overgrown. It's blocked in many places. There's a van right there. I don't even know who owns this land. And they, like a lot of preservation organizations, seem to have issues with not enough members, people who are too old, and so on. And so there is only a little bit of communication out of the organization about what the status of all this is or what they plan to do. I would argue that a compromise for this, if they wanted to move one of the trams to service, would be to truck it out to this stop here. If I can find it. I'm trying to find the furthest one out. Stranska Skala. That was what I was looking for. Because this is a tram loop. And as far as I know, it's still in use, or at least can be used, because you notice the catenary's up. And there are at least advertised tram stops here. Actually, we'll check the timetable. So if we were to go out there, okay, so there's no direct service from Czech. You would want to leave from Hlavní nádraží. But the trams go out there, apparently. That's good news. But the bottom line is they have this long-running, it looks like, struggle to keep the museum open. This is a website dedicated specifically to that cause. They're calling it Museum MHD Brno-Lisen. And apparently they have some British help, or at least one representative in Britain, Jiří Němec. So they have this British address and this British phone number. And they posted some news as recently as May. But the wording of this website is basically that they're trying to either reopen or save the museum somehow. It's really unclear like what this is really supposed to entail. And a lot of these photos are really visibly old. But there are a number of historic trams that do run in Brno, even if these photos are themselves historic at this point. There's some steam trams. These are not simply a gimmick because Brno initially used these instead of electric in their earliest days. And then they ended up with trams more like what you would see in Prague. I think these are actually Prague trams, I think. Yeah, you can see the livery. Hlavní město Prahy. In any case, I'll go to the next thing.